Ho ho, me hearties, a very good morning to you. Good morning, me hearties. Lovely to have you with us, and a big dinky from me, Scottie McCLUE. Here we are this morning just to see what is what. The time is coming up to 10 minutes past 10 in the morning. Morning, Trips, morning, Bryden. Hi, Dark Warrior, DINKY-DOO, yo, brah. Morning from Scotland, guys. Remember to tell us where you're watching from. We want to know. We want to hear from you. How amazing is that? Lots and lots of you coming and joining us. How wonderful is this? And a very, very warm welcome, of course. Good morning, everybody. Yo, says bro. Morning from Drumnadrochit, says the trucker lad. We love you in Drumnadrochit. What a lovely up at Loch Ness there. I remember saying to a bus driver about the road at Loch Ness, he said, well, you've hill on one side, rock on one side, and water on the other. So you're not going to be able to widen it very much. Hi, Scotty from the Wild Duck in Norfolk. Eric, we love Norfolk. Are you near to Cromer? Are you near to Norwich? Do tell us. Morning, mate, from Cambuslang. Morning, Robert. Lovely to have you with us from Cambuslang. Robert is on the YouTube channel. Rangers or Celtic, says he. I think you'd be better to go and see them both play and then just make a decision, you know. It's not cast in stone. Lots of people support Celtic one week, Rangers the next, you know. Good morning from Ventnor in the Isle of Wight. We love the Isle of Wight. We love ride and cows and Ventnor. How fantastic is that? Mon the Jars, says he. Well, I've done a TikTok video. Guys, get right into all the TikTok videos. They're all made with love for you guys. I'll just say good morning to everybody on the YouTube channel. Good morning. Good morning, YouTubers. Yes, there we are. DINKY-DOO to the YouTubers, I say to them, and DINKY-DOO to the TikTokers. Lovely to have you with us. Good morning from Belfast, says he. We love you in Belfast. What's happening in Belfast this morning? I ask you to tell us. Scotty, do you love the tiki-talkie? We do, Da Logan. We're very good with the tiki-talkie. It's been very good for Scottie McClue. And everybody seems to enjoy it. You know, we've got, I think we're approaching something like 25,000 followers, but here's the big bit. 52 million have watched Scottie McClue's TikTok videos. See what I mean? You know, see what I just did there? Your energy is amazing, says the Barker family. So is yours. There's Harry saying Happy Mother's Day. Guys, come on and give your mum a mention, and we'll give her a shout out. Those whose mums have moved on to the heavenly place, then what we can do is give them a mention as well. Do you dislike the SNP, Scotty? No, I don't think anybody dislikes the SNP. It's just not everybody wants independence. Only 58% of Scots want independence. So that means there's 42% who still aren't decided. That's the thing. But I don't think anybody hates the SNP. But they've got their challenges at the moment. I've just been watching on the television one of the candidates who's up for the next First Minister's job. There we are, and very good they were too. SNP are completely falling apart. Not necessarily, Charlie. Don't buy into all that. The old guard are moving on. I think the SNP would have done well, to 58% utter nonsense, says Comindran. I know it's high, isn't it? But it's the truth. It's a poll yesterday. Good morning, sir. Happy Sunday. DINKY-DOO, we take English. We English take independence personally. I'm not surprised, Charlie, but you shouldn't. The Scots love the English, but they're not so keen on the present. Oh, see what I just did there? The present occupants of Westminster. Good morning, Scotty, on aboard. Hello from my mum, Agnes, please. John, A shout out to Mum Agnes on Mother's Day. We love this. Good morning, Scotty DINKY-DOO, says Thomas Stevenson. Morning, Thomas. Lovely to have you with us. And a massive DINKY-DOO to you from Scotty McCLUE. Good morning, big good morning, Kieran. DINKY-DOO, John Matthews, welcome. Leonard has just joined us. About time too. Zach says Z lol. I said lol. There we are, but we're not going to do it all the time, you know. The Scots have always hated us, and we can't understand it. Charlie, the Scots have never, ever, ever hated you. They've disliked the Westminster governments for cheeking up to them and also for taking so much money off them. So there you are. That's the only reason the Scots dislike. They don't dislike the English. I've worked in England for many years and been made very, very welcome. Hello, Scotty. How's your health now? Josh, it's very good. You know, we had the lurgy a couple of weeks ago, but we're back. We're back in harness. There we are. A DINKY-DOO. Does Scotty like Kate Forbes? I've just been watching her with Laura Kunsberg on the television, and she was very impressive. You're not convincing anyone, says Charlie. Charlie, it's not my job to convince people. It's my job for people to convince themselves. Yes, indeed. Do you get it? Morning from Sky. What a brilliant morning. Preston. Falchi, Kida, Mille Falchi. Don TikTok. I guess Scottish McCLUE. I guess the Skeenox. There we are. Are you from Portree? Or are you from... Kyle? I say to you, say they are Kylaken. Scotty, Celtic or Rangers? Ooh, they're looking. There's a big one for you. I would go and see them both play and just make your mind up. Has everybody watching followed Scotty McCLUE? This is TikTok's top talk show. Everybody on TikTok should be following. Get following right now. There we are. Drugs are bad. Correct. Well, it depends what drugs. If they're prescribed drugs and they're helping somebody, they're not so bad. I'm a unionist, but I even think Kate Forbes is impressive and rather refreshing, Scotty. George, absolutely. I mean, if they would go for the unionist vote and acknowledge His Majesty the King as the head of Scotland, as the head of state for Scotland. There we are, DINKY-DOO. Right, Terry Tibb, we don't have any of that filth on here. So there we are. Not everybody has your lifestyle, so I think we'll just dump you. Guys, Terry Tibbs is leaving us for being a dafty. There he goes. I'm gone. That's it. We don't have any idiots on here. We never scroll, we never troll. So there we are. That's what happens to that kind of nutcase. Morning, Scotty DINKY-DOO. Morning, Tom. Now, what have we got here? This looks interesting. Andrew says, of course, you're a unionist. Me? Well, you see, I'm apolitical, you know. So, I mean, if you check out Scotty McCLUE on Scottish Independence on the YouTube channel, just found out my 9th great-granddad, Watson of Galloway, was a pioneer of New Zealand. Well, Josh, there you go. Bless him, I say. We bless Watson of Galloway, and we thank him for starting New Zealand. I'm thinking of starting a business to reintroduce Victorian fashion. Well, Tom, I might be in for a top hat. There we are. DINKY-DOO, lovely to have you with us, Nula. Hi, mate. So there we go. Hi, Biggle. There we go. What are we doing? Good morning, Scotty. I visited Bridge of Allen last week and loved it. Bridge of Allen, 2 L's and an A. There we are. That looks like Bridge of Alien. Scotty, where are you from? I am from a place called Scotland. Yes, indeed. Lola has joined us. Hi, Scotty. I'm really worried about these benefit cuts with the government budget. I'm a carer and someone with autism. Yes, indeed. There shouldn't be any benefit cuts. I think really they've had 13 years in power. There is plenty of money for everyone. They now need to get spending properly rather than frittering £250 billion on Brexit, frittering £150 billion on equipment that was no use during the pandemic. 27 red roses. Can you give me a shout out, Scotty? Of course I can, Ross. Will England boycott everything Scottish? They can't, Charlie. England would die off without Scotland. Scotland is England's larder. Scotland supplies the food and the drink and the power and the water and all these things. Scotland holds all the cards. Now, who have we got here? Fantastic. Not happy Scotland wants to leave the UK. Well, no, it will mean a bit of struggling for England to start with, but you'll get back on your feet and we'll still be trading with you. I think Scotland should rejoin, not necessarily the whole of the European Union, because it's a wee bit on the dodgy side, a wee bit top heavy. But I think that they could do with going back into the single market. So there you have it. Now, who have we got here? Giving it away to the illegals? No. That's a distraction. Scotland doesn't hold all the cards for England. It does, actually, Tom. Newsflash, Tom. There we are. Newsflash. Newsflash, I say. Guys, if you're watching on the TikTok, please can every single one of you follow me right now. Yes, I think after 40 years of giving up my time and energy for public service broadcasting, I think that maybe I'm worth a wee follow, a wee pop up to the top and a click of the plus. That's the stuff. Thank you so much, guys, for following. That's beautiful. Sedge Sydney, lovely to have you with us, and DINKY-DOO. Good morning, you big hunk of love. And I thank you. Guys followed us. That's excellent. Guys, see all the people following. What a thoroughly decent human thing to do. Thoroughly decent. You know? So everybody should follow. If you've got a TikTok account, the first thing you do with it is follow Scottie McClue. Fantastic accent, says Mr. Flood. Mr. Flood, it's not an accent. It's the way I speak. I've always spoken this way. A lot of people seem to like it. Got to go, Scotty. Love you, mate. Tom, you take care. Have a fabulous day and stay fabulous. Just talk normal. What part of Scotland are you from, Jaden? This is me talking normal. Yes, absolutely. I am from Glasgow on the West Coast. We need you back in the radio, says Anda. Every single Scottish person, every single UK person has said to me, for the last 10 years, we want you back on the radio. I was last on the radio 2 or 3 years ago, and since everybody wants it, but the radio bosses don't quite understand that. They're so busy just saying, oh, no, just play the music, play the music. No personality, no personalities allowed on the radio. Hello from Lincoln. I love Lincoln. Whoa! The only thing is, if you're standing beside the cathedral, looking at the statue of Alfred Tennyson, and that bell strikes the hour, woo! Boy, do you know about it. After independence, Scotland will close. Well, it might close to England, Charlie, but it will be open for business for Scotland. You're better off on TikTok. I think so. Super Al, I agree with you. Yesterday, thousands saw me on TikTok. Thousands. And I think the days when you could get 250,000 listeners per half hour on the radio might well have gone. And remember, Scottie McClue was exceptional. There we are. Charlie B used to stop with the BS. That's right. That's the British sign. Still shaving that beard, ready for the Scottish sunshine. Faze, yeah, we're looking a bit better, aren't we? Keeping the beard down. Follow us, guys, as soon as you can. Everybody should follow. Independence will never happen. SNP and Turner, love it. Independence is far, far bigger than the SNP. A poll yesterday has said 58% of Scots want independence. So whatever the SNP is doing, whatever the Labour Party is doing, whatever what's the other one we have in Scotland? Very small. Oh, the Tories, whatever and one even smaller, the Greens, whatever they're doing doesn't matter. So there you have it. It was a newspaper poll, Chunk. You can see it. Look online. Latest poll. One of the top newspapers. I love Edinburgh. We all love Edinburgh. Translator, please. No, you keep going, user. You will get there. Don't give up. Just because you don't understand the language doesn't mean you'll never understand it. Hello from Inverkeithing. You get so many listeners because you talk sense, says Bob the painter. Bob, I thank you. I think I do talk sense, and so does everybody else. Lol, no independence for you, says Glue. Glue, if independence comes, it will come. Thoughts on the Falklands War? Well, you know, I think nobody really ever wins a war, but we've still got the Falkland Islands. So there you are. Beam me up, Scotty. Okay, James, you've gone. 365 days in a year. How can we control only 2, today and tomorrow? Can you control tomorrow? Well, you're a better man than the rest of us. Without the small Greens, half the policies would have lost in Parliament. Love it, that's true, but I mean, it's ridiculous that you need a party of Greens who I don't think are big on the monarchy. I would have to check that, but I'm not sure they are. You're a good man, Percy. This poor clown has not got a clue who I am. He calls me Percy, calls me after aristocrats. You're a good man, Percy, a good man, but I could buy you and sell you, clown. You could buy me and sell me for 20 quid. But you wouldn't get me. Nobody's ever managed to buy Scottie McClue. Tomorrow starts today. Every day starts today. Kareem's just joined us and has given me a football and a TikTok gift. Who have we got here? Lola says, oh, hi, Lola, DINKY-DOO. We got that. We've done that one. Guys, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, please get subscribing. If you're watching on TikTok, get following. Big style. There we are. We need another 40 followers right now. Would the healthcare system change in an independent Scotland? I think it would, Dominic. I mean, Scottish healthcare, it's had its tough times, but you see, the very, very pivotal thing, anybody who's critical of the Scottish government, remember they're not allowed to keep their income. And if the Scottish government kept every penny that Scotland made, you would see a vast difference. And I mean, I used to be a terrific unionist, but the union itself is an appalling piece of legislation. It's very, very poorly put together. It's very unfair. It's not a party of equals. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to go to the UK government to ask for permission to have a referendum on independence. You see what I mean? You would just have one. Paul Trainer's joined us. Scotty, going to get a shout out from my boys, Ross and Dylan. Paul, you can with pleasure. FaZe has just sent me a huge gift on TikTok. Guys, you're very, very generous. Have you been to Stockport? I used to broadcast to Stockport. Stockport is the home of hat making, or was. So everybody in Stockport will be a wee bit bananas, as mad as hatters. There you are. Yes, I like Stockport. I used to stay not terribly far away where I stayed in Salford. But you could go round the ring road, you see. What was the ring road again? Is it the M65? What's the ring road? Round Manchester. It's gone straight out my mind there. So there we are. So I think healthcare, yes, you'd see a big, big difference. What have we got here? Can you go for Nicola Sturgeon's job? No, I can't actually, because I'm not a politician. I'm not a member of the SNP. And what else am I not? I'm also apolitical, so that wouldn't be too popular. But I could certainly sort a few things out. I think if I was something like maybe the head of the Scottish Civil Service, then I'd be able to help sort things out. Do you know what I mean? Well said, Scotty. Dinky-Doo, banzai. Fantastic. But no, I can't go for Nicola Sturgeon's job. And also, it'll be being decided in a week. And I haven't been in the hustings. But I don't think they've got a pro-monarchist amongst the candidates. And that's worrying because King Charles is the head of state for Scotland. And they're going to need to get on. And they very foolishly dismissed it as not important. Oh, I think there are other things more important in Scotland. Sorry, but if you don't get the infrastructure right, what's the point? Listen to Gordon Brown, stay in the Union. Charlie, we listened to Gordon Brown the last time. Look where that got us. The Vow. I don't think so. No. Plus, remember, every political career ends in failure. Every political career ends in failure. Yes, indeed. So there you have it. Scotty, my boys, Ross and Dylan missed your shout out. Could you please do it again just now? Paul, of course we can. This is for Ross and Dylan from Scotty McCLUE. You're with your dad, Paul, right now, and we're giving you a shout out to say, Dinky-Doo, and have a lovely Sunday, you boys. So there we are, Dinky-Doo, Ross and Dylan. Fantastic. Listen to Gordon Brown. The M60. That's it, Charlie. Did I get that right? What did I call it? The M65. I used to listen to you on the radio. Stephen, do you know that millions and millions and millions, and it's actually gone up globally now to 2 billion, have heard of Scotty McCLUE? 2 billion people have heard of me. How humbling. But wait till I tell you this. Before you start celebrating and yahooing and hoo-hooing and dinky-dooing and toing and throwing, that means there's 8 billion people in the world. 6 billion have yet to hear Scotty McCLUE. So we've got a mountain to climb when it comes to everyone in the world having heard of Scotty McCLUE. It's true. Sounds amazing, but it's true. There we are. So there we are. Paul, did they all get that? No. Charlie B. Scots have seen what's on offer for the next 52 Brexit years. From England, control of Westminster. Shocking accent RFCG's got. RFCG, I could train you to speak properly if you've got a shocking accent. I don't have an accent, you see. This is the way I speak. There we have it. Has everybody followed, guys? We need another 45 followers. Move the border to Skye. No. Move the border to just north of Watford. So all of that becomes Scotland. I don't think there'll be a single person in the Midlands, in the northwest of England, in the northeast of England, who would not like to be part of Scotland. There we go. Scotty, talking about pioneers, we're not hearing much about the space race north of Dumbarton. Maybe going to be a closeted affair like the gold mines of Tyndrum. It's funny, I hear the BBC pronouncing it Tyndrum. I was brought up hearing Tyndrum. I think he stays out about Tyndrum. Scotty, can I have a shout out? Ross, of course you can. Why on earth would you never? Now, who else have we got? I'm going for Nicola Sturgeon's job. Bob the Painter. You're a member of the SNP, I would think, by your logo. And you could probably throw your hat in the ring. I don't know if you have to have served in government. There we are. Scotty, can you give Dylan a shout out? Of course I can, Ross. Scots are completely anti-English. Charlie B, if you tell any more whoppers, I will mute you. You have not said a single true thing since you came on this broadcast this morning. Charlie B, you have told whoppers. Every Scot loves the English, but we're not so keen on the present occupants of Westminster because they're not pro-Scottish enough. Here we got another 30 followers, 40 followers. Banzai says, I can't support monarchy. Sorry, supposed to be a defender of my rights. They've done a great job. You can support them, Banzai. Everybody can support the monarchy. And remember, it's a Scottish institution. There was a monarchy in Scotland before Scotland. If you trace back the Celtic or Celtic monarchy, it goes back 2,347 years at least to the ancestors of Ree. Ree as in Roy, Roi. Yes, the king, King Ree. And he goes back 2,347 years. Woo! What about that? So why would anybody ever change in Scotland? Charlie says, Gordon persuaded the Scots to stay on the last vote. You listen to him. I know, Charlie, and what a mistake that was. So there you go. Sean Bohan, you need to just go away and grow up. Yes, so we'll just block you for a lifetime ban. That's the end of him. Now, who else have we got? I'd say you've gone. There we are. He's away. So, Charlie B, can you provide evidence of your claim? I'll wait, says John Ferindi. Good one, John. Keep him going. Now, Brexit was lunacy. It was, Charlie. It was complete lunacy, and the Scots sussed it right away. Also, it squandered 250 billion quid. Scottish boy, sorry, it's Sienna. Hello, Scottish boy. Best thing to come out of England was the M74. Not true, Frizzle. Otherwise, people were saying the best thing to come out of Scotland was the M74. So, no, we don't do that kind of low-level nonsense. Lauren says, good morning, Scotty. Good morning, Lauren. Dinky-Doo. Thanks for following, Callum. Tremendous. You go, Scotty. We will go, Lauren. Yes, big style. I shall tell you. Right, there we are. I might get put in charge of broadcasting for Scotland when we devolve broadcasting from Westminster. Start to rebuild the Scottish media, owned by Scots, run by Scots, for the benefit of the Scots. I was brought up with media like that. There you have, and I've worked for all these companies, and we shall do so again. Yes, indeed. Will the Scots leave the British Army? Charlie, if the Scots left the British Army, there'd be no British Army left. You look at, I think it's now first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Is there fifth, sixth Scots, seventh Scots? I don't know. I'm trying to work out how many regiments and battalions we've got now, but let's have a look at what we did have in Scotland. The King's Own Scottish Borderers, the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, the Black Watch, the Royal Scots, the Royal Scots Fusiliers, the Highland Light Infantry, the Camerons, the Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders, the Seaforths, the 93rd Highlanders. I think they went in with their Argylls, didn't they? Who else have we got? We're bound to have a lot more. We've done the Royal Scots, the Scots Guards, the Brigade of Guards, the Coldstream Guards, Scottish. Who else have we got? I think that kind of covers it for now. Dinky-Doo from Colorado. So there you go. So Charlie, if that lot left, hello, anybody in the army? There we go. Now, what do we got here? Dinky-Doo from Colorado says, Callum, we love you in Colorado. How amazing is that? Guys, have you all followed Scottie McCLUE on the TikTok just for you and the YouTube? Has everybody been on the YouTube and subscribed? There we go. Now, who have we got here? Monkey COVID. We don't say obscure things like that. Morning, Scottie. How are you? Stephen. How lovely to have you with us. And a big Dinky-Doo. Is everybody watching followed? You must get following, guys. 52 million have listened. Can you say hi to Keris? I can. Keris or Ceres? I'll say Keris. Have I got it right? What I say is totally factual. Charlie B, that's a whopper for a start. Stop telling whoppers. Your nose will grow. There we are. We shall call Charlie B, Charlie Pinocchio B, Charlie PB. There we are. Do you think the Queen's passing in Scotland will have helped secure the future? You don't have to secure the future of the monarchy. The monarchy is in perpetuity. Perpetuity, her heirs and successors. The Queen did a wonderful job for 70 years. And the fact she passed in Scotland, I mean, a great tribute to Scotland from Her Majesty, and a great tribute to Her Majesty, Her late Majesty, from the people of Scotland. So there you have it. But no, you see, what you're missing, the monarchy, people get obsessed with the royal family and with personalities. The raison d'etre, see what I just did there? French, no laughing. Je regrette, mais je ne parle pas français très vite, c'est pas lentement, peut-être je comprends. But no, the raison d'etre for the monarchy is as the curator and custodian of the crown. So it's the crown that's our symbol of authority. So it's the crown that is the head of state. And the representative, who is the monarch, King Charles, God save the king. There you have it. Now, what else have we got? True, absolutely. Great guy, Scottie, thank you. User 843. Yes, a Scottish media. That's what we need, Anna. Because we've still got Scottish television, but we had BBC Scotland, had BBC Glasgow, BBC Edinburgh, BBC Dundee, BBC Aberdeen. Yes, and then we had the local stations. We had Radio Borders, Radio Highland. You know, fantastic when you think about it. Marvellous stuff. And we've got Radio Scotland. So there we are. Stephen says BBC Scotland currently an embarrassment. The BBC. Well, no, the only thing I would say is that very often you'll get a lead news story that says the BBC has discovered, the BBC has found this, and you think, we heard that last week on social media, you see? And I was listening, I had social media on the other day, and I had a very popular national public service broadcast station, and they were talking about the price of pig feed. And the social media were talking about the possibility of war between the United States and China. So you've got to say what to you is the most important story. You see? So there we are. So no, I mean, the BBC is a remarkable organisation. The BBC of Scotland's been around for 100 years last week. 100 years. You know, the only thing I would say about the BBC is they should take Scottie McCLUE on board ASAP. And they could produce me. I mean, it's so interesting. I once said to somebody at the BBC, they said, I don't think it's something we look at. And at that point, I was never off the BBC. And I thought, why don't you have a cup of tea with me? And we discuss it. So this person, who was very, very high up in the BBC, hadn't got their head round the fact that I would be up for a chat and that they might be able to produce a wonderful program with Scottie McClue. Scottie McClue, how would you see a valid way to declaring popular will for indie in the world? Banzai, indie is popular throughout the world. You know? You look at all the countries that have become independent, and they're all rooting for Scotland. The only country that doesn't want Scotland to become independent is England. Or I should say the United Kingdom. They don't want Scotland to leave, but they were quite happy to leave the European Union, which was madness. It was a conversation. Happy Mother's Day to your lovely Mother's Day. Have a great day, Glenn Peacock. That is fabulous. A very happy Mother's Day to you. And I know, Glenn, your own mum's not been terribly well, and I hope she's getting well and strong. So there you are. So, no, the world is very keen. Although I think Scotland could do with more top-level ambassadors. I look at some of the people in power and I think, you're not quite at ambassadorial level. Ah, dear, I might have to just do it myself. I'm going to have a wee cup of tea every day. General sup if you've got tea. That's beautiful. Good morning to the beautiful, beautiful YouTubers. Guys, if you're on YouTube right now, thumbs up, please. Go to the bottom left, click the thumbs up. The YouTube channel is the world's best kept secret. So there we are. Chris says the black and tans. No, Chris, I don't think I could ever support the black and tans. I used to enjoy a sweet black and tan when I liked a refreshment. There we are. That's what I do. Scottie, you're the man. Thomas DINKY-DOO. Fantastic. It's a conversation, isn't it? That's what it is. A conversation. Scottish Unionists suffer emotional to Westminster and Tory rule. Shame on them. So there you are. Well, no, you see, Kareem, what I would say is you shouldn't have a unionist party in the Scottish Parliament. So if you're a Scottish parliamentary party, you shouldn't be unionist. Do you see what I mean? So I think that the Scottish Tories should drop the title Conservative and Unionist. And if Scottish Labour had abandoned their masters in 2014, then they'd have been in power right now, and Scotland would be independent. It's an interesting thought, isn't it? So it was as close as that, and I mean, now it's growing. I know there's challenges within the SNP, but the latest poll says 58% of Scots want independence. So it just shows you it's much bigger than any party or any individual. There we are. That's what to do, everybody. Now then, Charlie, you don't know the meaning of the word truth, says John. Good one, John. You tell him. Kareem's on, guys. Now, who have we got? Why do solar panels not overheat? I'll imagine because we get so little sunshine. Now, I would think, I don't know the exact physics of it, obviously, but I would think they'll be like a battery. They'll know when they're charged. They will have intelligence of their own. Have a good day, Scottie. I'm off to give blood. Well, do you know, I invited the family out for tea and biscuits once, but they weren't so keen. They didn't realise they had to give blood as well. Thank you for that. Very good of you. Is Ireland a good place, says Ollie the dog? Ireland is one of the most outstanding places on God's earth. And every single one of us has come via Ireland from the African Rift Valley. We were all originally black African in the east of Africa. There we are, the Rift Valley. I think the Rift Valley takes in Kenya, doesn't it? There are followers, guys, so I would say to all the Kenyans watching, Jambo, Jambo. That's Swahili for hello. Guys, if you're on the YouTube, please subscribe. Pop over and subscribe. We need your subscriptions. We make no bones about it, but we are building a massive, massive talk show. And I think for you to be the beneficiary of that, which you all will be, and then we can open the lines, we can take calls. Get following, guys. Follow us, please. We need another 40 followers right now. Can we have 40 followers? Set up, says Ethan Janice. Oui, c'est vrai, c'est vrai. I say to you. So that's it. So, guys, if you're on TikTok, have a look at the YouTube channel. Scottie McCLUE, Voice of the World Radio Talk Show. It's easier to find through youtube.com/@ Scottie McCLUE, little E. Yes, the little ampersand. See what I just did there? Respect to you, user 758. Do you think Scottish citizens deserve a retribution from England for all the years of slavery and tyranny? No, I don't think they do, user, because most of the English people have gone through slavery and tyranny as well. And there was a lot of Scots slavers. Yes, indeed. I mean, most Scottish towns and cities are built on the back of slavery of one kind or another. We still are enslaved to a greater or lesser extent. Probably a lesser extent, if I'm honest about it. But no, I don't think we need retribution. What we do need is reparation of damages for the likes of Linlithgow Palace. And that would give us another royal residence. So that would mean we've got about 8 royal residences in Scotland. And I'm sure we could have the First Minister and dignitaries meeting at Linlithgow Palace. Think about it, it'd be a great place to meet. In fact, it might be an idea to do up Linlithgow Palace and move the Scottish Parliament from at the very bottom of the Royal Mile. I think that the Labour government didn't want them in the old Royal High School because it looks too powerful. But if I was First Minister, I would expect to have use of Edinburgh Castle, Bute House, an office at Holyrood, a country flat at Linlithgow Palace, perhaps a townhouse in Glasgow. And you can move things about. You see, the capital of Scotland used to move about. So places like, I think Perth was the capital of Scotland. Dunfermline certainly was, which is now a city. The king sits in Dunfermline Toon, drinking the blood-red wine. You see what I just did there, you see? So fantastic. Guys, we need another 20 followers right now. If you're not following Scottie McCLUE and you're on TikTok, ask yourself what's wrong with you. Say to yourself, what is wrong with me? Why am I not following Scottie McCLUE, the world's top broadcaster, the world's most humble man, hashtag float high, first lord of the internet, all in uppercase? Oh, I'm not just an athlete, you know, folks. I'm a black belt in karaoke. And I used to be a black eye in karate. Can we all get a wee chin, mate, says Robert. Yes, you can. Roshand, how lovely to have you with us. The DINKY-DOO, Scottie, what's on the agenda today? Well, more domesticity. Yesterday consisted of washing every dish. You see? What we do is, if there's not a dish left, we have to wash them. Like if there's nothing left to wear, we have to do a washing. A washing. Up the Rangers, says, who's saying that? Ethan says up the Rangers. Scotty, what's your opinion on the Gary Lineker situation? Jamie, froth and bubble. I don't have any time for any of that. These things are a distraction from what's going on. And I have no time for this cancel culture. Do you know, somebody says something, somebody doesn't like it. If you don't like it, lump it. Do you know what I mean? Because you're damaging the world for other people with your prejudice. That's what's wrong with these people that complain. They are prejudiced. As far as I'm concerned, you know, provided it's within taste and decency, people can say what they like. I used to say this on the phone-in. It's an open line. If you don't like it, phone in. If you really don't like it, don't tune in. But never, ever, ever tune in and complain, because you're not welcome. So there you are. That's what I would say, guys. Get following if you can. Spot on, Scotty. New Zealand's better than the UK. Have you lived there, James? Tell us why. There we are. The weather's probably a little bit better. Morning from St Andrews, mate. Bothy. We love St Andrews. Dinky-Doo, I say. Yes, indeed. Have you ever heard of the Chaldees? Do you know what the Chaldees are? Scotty, what's your views and thoughts on the SNP wanting to move all Trident assets out of Scotland? Well, the only thing I would say, I think it was Prince Philip that said, if you want to keep peace, you must be prepared for war. And the old boy had a point. He knew what he was talking about. And all my life, we've had nuclear weapons in Scotland. When I was a wee boy, I could look out the window of my bedroom. Well, my mother's bedroom I would look out of. My bedroom looked onto the hill. But I could look out the window and I could see the American Polaris ship at the Holy Loch. Now, guys, does anyone remember USS Proteus, USS Hunley, USS Simon Lake? And I used to go every day on the Liberty boat to bring the sailors back from these. So I was actually about yards from a Polaris missile. And you used to see them going into the subs. So I was yards from a Polaris missile. Now, fortunately for me, and for everybody else that was crewing the boat, it never went off. So let's just hope it doesn't go off. But what I would do, I would say to the British government, if Scotland was independent, you know, you will need to make sure we are well subsidised here, because Scotland holds the deep water for all these things. Same for shipbuilding. Yeah, we've got the facilities of ship repairing, and we need to go back to that. Now that the Scotland want to leave, we voted to stay in the UK. Yeah, but that was pre-Brexit. And we just voted to stay by a hair's breadth. You know, I think it was 55-45. Independence is sitting right now at 58%. So I think Scotland does want to leave the UK. So I think you've got that wrong, la-la. La-la, la-la-la. Guys, I need another 20 followers right now, please. 20. So if you're not following, ask yourself, what's wrong with you? I mean, don't ring NHS 24, but next time you're in with your doctor, say, another thing I wanted to ask you, doctor, I haven't followed Scottie McClue on TikTok for no reason. Why would that be? There we are. I prefer coffee, says Fraser. I haven't had coffee for 42 years. Bo says, there we are. He says he likes chocolate. There we are. Bo, you got your day. Your day came 100 years ago. So you don't need to say that anymore. That's passé. We need Scotland to store our nuclear arsenal. Well, it's stored all over the place. I know, truth, it's stuff that can be proven. Charlie B, you've proven nothing so far, and you've been on here for 50 minutes. Scotty, do you remember a guy called Bucket from your old show? Of course I do, Bo. I remember all these people. Fantastic. Bucket. Would Scotland still support gay marriage? Yes. I was listening to a candidate for the First Minister's job today, and they were saying that everybody should be able to practice what they wish to practice in that sort of arrangement. So I don't think that there'll ever be a backward step in Scotland from gay marriage, because it's actually nobody else's business, Dominic, when you think about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm amazed when people introduce somebody and they say, this is John, and the guy goes, yeah, I'm actually gay. We say, why are you telling me that? You know, I can't imagine me shaking hands with somebody and going, hello, how do you do? Scotty McClue. I'm actually, I hope you don't mind me saying, I'm actually heterosexual. Is that okay? You know, that sort of thing. Scotty, it's Campbell here. Thoughts on the stock market and the dropping of bank stock spike? It's all part of it. And it's part of a much, much bigger picture. I shan't reveal it on here because they just take us down. But there's a much, much bigger picture going on. And I think there's going to be probably very, very soon a big change in the banking system. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because the banking system, parts of the system were okay, but the avarice and the greed, has been shocking. And if you, as a Christian person, I don't know if you're a Christian person or what your faith or creed is, but as a Christian person, you'll remember that Christ turned over the tables of the money changers in the temple and lost the heat with them. And I think that, we've got to say, look, in the old days, I mean, I was a banker for 4 years. So I knew the system very, very well, but it was a different system. And it was backed, you had the fiduciary issue. So no bank would actually issue any more than it had in reserve. And the problem is now they're really just printing currency, printing money. So there you have it. And they're using the people's money. So you'll find that the people's money will start to come back to the people. And, a lot of the high finance will change. But that's all I'm going to say in that, because if I go into too much detail, as I say, obviously, everyone is shouting, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. So there you are. So the banks crashing is part of it. You're doing my head in, Dinky-Doo. Well, bro, the best thing for you is to stop watching. Just go away, unless I'm doing your head in because we're stimulating your brain for one of the first times. That's a possibility. There we are. Scotty, you're a very intelligent gentleman. You're very kind, Jamie. Great comment, bro. Thank you so much, Charlie. There we are. The capital was Dunfermline. It was. Scotty, Celtic went 1-0 down and made a comeback and won 3-1. Celtic are doing very well. On the hoops. We are the hoops. We're simply the hoops. Why did England pay 800 million to build Holyrood when it should have cost 50 million? Who bought it? I don't think England did pay 800 million, Charlie. So there you have it. I don't think they did. I'll have a look at that. Is that a model of a Range Rover in the background? And yes, I do concur with you, Jamie. That's the P38. I used to have one of those, and it was an excellent machine. The engine was bomb-proof, as they say in the trade. Follow us, guys. If you haven't followed Scottie McCLUE, get following. Big style. We need another. Okay, here's the deal. I'll settle for 12 followers if you follow me right now. Guys, I shouldn't have to beg for followers. Everybody should be following. If you've got a TikTok account, step one, follow Scottie McCLUE. Because this is TikTok's top talk show. We are big. So there we go. What would your advice be to younger people trying to get a foothold in today's economical climate with the wages not increasing but houses are? Well, Ross, I would say to young people, get yourself the best job you can, save your pennies, and things will be changing. So there we are. You see, when I started off, my grandfather paid £120 for a lovely big family house. And his brother, I think, paid the same for the big family house and the shop next door. So 240 quid in the 1920s, around about 1925, I think. Neely and Donkey must have shelled out for the hooses. And that house, you know, they had it for years and years and years. But it ended up being compulsory purchase to make way for new housing. And I think the compensation was 500 quid plus a Kunselhuis. Well, that sort of stuff. So very, very interesting, the whole setup, I say to you. Now, who have we got here? Guys, 10 followers right now, please. I won't tell you again. We love it. How beautiful is this? We're going to have to go soon. Good morning, Scotty. Good morning, Georgie Porgy. Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. I wonder who that was about, Georgie. Because all these nursery rhymes, like there was a guy called Little Jack Horner, and I think he got left in his state. I think Jack Horner was a monk, and he got left in his state, so he was eating his pudding and pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum. And the plum, I think, was the title deeds to an estate. Ring a roses, of course, there because of the plague. The rose-like rings on your face when you had the old plague. A tissue. We all fall down. End. Gone. Oh, no. Right, guys, I'm going to have to dash. Thoughts on Scottish farmers? Beautiful people who work very, very hard, David, and who deserve a much better deal from the government and from the supermarkets and all the people they supply to. Up the Scottish farmers. Favour follow, sir, you're a legend. Ziggy Graham, so are you. Follow us, thank you very much. Emerson, beautiful, decent, thoroughly decent thing to do. There we go, wonderful people. Mon the Rangers, we're simply the Rangers. Mon the hoops, in the interest of balance. Yes. Sauce for the goose, sauce for the gander. John Farindi's telling Charlie to stop reading a certain newspaper. I think that's where Charlie gets his information from. There we are. Guys, everything I say has been fact-checked. Charlie, it hasn't even been fat-checked because it's a big fat whopper. There we have it. Dinky-Doo, user 350. Absolutely. Thank you. How are you, boss? Dinky-Doo Studio. Guys, I'm going to have to dash. Take great care of your dear selves. Stick out your tongues and say ta-ta. Bye-bye. There we are. That's our beautiful TikTokers. We had to go because we can only be up for an hour on TikTok if you're hoping to download the live. And we're going to dash from the YouTube just now, but stay fabulous, every single one of you. I love you. Dinky-Doo. Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ta-ta.